Hello everyone, welcome to SARtNet Edu. So today we will learn about how to update existing SQL Server database primary key tables and how this table and primary key gets updated in entity framework of a existing project. So let me open my database first. Here we have created one table in which we have some column like ID, name, email, phone number, date of birth, city and state. I want to create here, this is basically the hard-coded data that directly user can enter from the text box. But now what I want to do, I want to make it selectable from the database. So for that we need to create two tables. One is for state and other is for city. So what I will do, I'll go and create one new table here. I'll just right click on table, new table, and I'll give it name ID, and I will make it integer type, int, because, and state. Okay, and I want to make this varchar 100, and this should be also not null. Okay, then let's keep the name of the table states. Let's give the name of the table states, and I want to make this ID as a primary key, so I'll click on it and I will set it as a primary key. Okay, now I will save it. So now this table gets created in our database. Now let's create another table. So I will give it ID, data type integer, and I will take it the state ID, because any city, I am just creating the city table here. So any city is basically belongs to a state. So we need to take, so here we need to take the state ID as well. So this should be also integer, because we'll keep the state ID inside this field. So this should be also not null. And then city name, cities name, this should be varchar 100. Let's take it 200. Just click on the save button, city. Okay, now create this as a primary key. So I created this primary key. Now we got all the table city, state, student data. So to change an existing table, just right click on it, go to the design, and what we need to change, because we have created a separate table for state and city, we will take state as a integer, because we want to store integer here, and this also should be integer, and this should be not null, and this should be also not null. Just click on the save button. So this basically throwing one message that this table needs to be dropped first, and after that we need to create this. So to do this, what we have to do, we can save the text file here. Okay, now click on the cancel button. Just go here, the new query tab, and drop this table first. Or the second way, what you can create a script for this. So right click on it, just click on the create to in new query window. To create this will generate a script to create a table. Okay. Now what I will do, I will drop this table. I will write command to drop student database. Student drop table list. So when I will execute this, the table gets dropped. Now what I will have to do, I need to create this table again. So we can do it from here by right clicking on the table, and we'll enter the same field what we have taken here, or because we have created an script from here, so what we can do, we can run this script directly from here by making some basic modification in this, because we have created id as a primary key. So what we can do, we can modify it to constraint primary key, and we can give this as id, and that's it. So now we can create this table. Okay, we need to change it to integer, and it should be not null, and the same goes for the city as well. Yes. Okay, now what I will do, I will execute it here. So now just refresh this. So you can see by selecting the design of this table, so here we got the state as a integer, city as a integer, and id as a primary key. So what we will do, we will enter the state id in this state field and city id in this city field. So for that we need to update this all the changes to our entities framework in MVC project. So for that, what we will do, we will go open Visual Studio project, and from here you can see inside the model we have earlier created one EDMX student model file. So just double click on it, so it will open this file. Before that, we have only one table, the student data, in which state and city is basically the string type. So what we need to do, we need to update this EDMX file. To update this EDMX file, just right click on it, update model from the database, and we have created two new tables. So all the new created table will come here. Okay, and just click on the finish button. So we got two table here, and what we have done, we have updated this student data table because we have already added this, so this will become inside the refresh. So we need to refresh this table as well. So what we need to do, we will select, we go in the refresh tab, and inside refresh tab we'll select this student data and we'll click on the finish button. So what it will do, it will refresh this student data table as well. And now just click Ctrl S to save this. It will pop up to press on the OK button. So just press on the OK button. Again press on the OK button. Now it gets saved. So we have successfully updated our EDMX file of the entity framework. Now what we have done, we have modified our SQL Server database and we have updated this changes to our MVC project. and in the next section we'll utilize this city and state table to make the city and state as a drop down field. So that's it for today's class. Thank you so much.